Did Caylee Anthony really get away with murder? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Welcome to Mystery Unveiled. Today, we dive deep into one of the most controversial and polarizing cases in recent memory, the Caylee Anthony mystery. This case, filled with twists, turns, and unanswered questions, has gripped the nation for years. In this video, we'll explore the chilling details, analyze the evidence, and discuss the theories that have kept this case alive in the public's mind. In the summer of 2008, a heart-wrenching mystery began to unravel in the sweltering heat of Orlando, Florida. It was here, in this vibrant city known for its theme parks and sunny skies, that a dark and chilling story took hold of the nation's attention. A story that still lingers in the public consciousness. At the center of this storm was a young mother named Caylee Anthony. To those who knew her, Caylee seemed like any other 22-year-old, juggling the challenges of single motherhood with the aspirations of youth. But behind the facade of normalcy, a tragedy was brewing that would captivate and ultimately divide an entire country. On July 15, 2008, Caylee's mother, Cindy Anthony, made a frantic call to 911. In her desperate voice, she revealed that her granddaughter, 2-year-old Caylee Anthony, had been missing for 31 agonizing days. What followed was a sequence of events so bizarre, so filled with twists and turns, that it would become one of the most infamous cases in American history. Caylee was a bright, beautiful little girl, full of life and promise. Her disappearance was met with widespread fear and concern, and a massive search ensued. But as the investigation unfolded, troubling details began to emerge. Caylee Anthony's behavior during this time was nothing short of bewildering. Her daughter was missing. She was seen partying, getting a tattoo that read Bella Vita, which means beautiful life, and telling lies that would later come back to haunt her. The case took a devastating turn when in 2008, Caylee's remains were discovered in a wooded area near the Anthony family home. The skeletal remains, wrapped in a blanket and stuffed inside a trash bag, painted a grim picture of the fate that had befallen this innocent child. The discovery shocked the nation, turning the case into a full-blown media spectacle. As the investigation deepened, Caylee Anthony was accused of her daughter's murder, and the case quickly escalated into one of the most publicized trials in modern history. The prosecution painted Caylee as a cold, calculating mother who killed her daughter to free herself from the burdens of parenthood. The defense, led by Jose Baez, argued that Caylee's death was a tragic accident that spiraled out of control, suggesting that she had drowned in the family pool. The trial was a circus of emotions. With the world watching every move, every word, and every tear, Caylee's stoic demeanor in the courtroom, contrasted with moments of apparent emotion, only fueled public outrage. How could a mother behave so calmly in the face of such horrific accusations? Then, in a verdict that stunned the world, Caylee Anthony was acquitted of murder charges in July of 2011. The jury found her not guilty of first-degree murder, manslaughter, and child abuse, convicting her only of lying to law enforcement. The acquittal was met with widespread disbelief, and the case left behind a trail of suspicion, anger, and unanswered questions. How could a child so precious, so loved, meet a tragic end, and yet no one be held accountable? This case is not just a story about a mother and a daughter. It's a reflection of a society grappling with the complexities of truth, justice, and the often murky waters that lie between. As we delve deeper into this case, we ask ourselves, what really happened to Caylee Anthony? Why did the events unfold as they did? And how has this case continued to captivate and haunt us after all these years? One theory suggests that Caylee's death was a tragic accident, perhaps due to drowning in the family pool, and that Caylee, panicked and fearful of the consequences, decided to cover it up. This theory points to the evidence of decomposition found in Casey's car and the traces of chloroform as indicators that she may have tried to conceal the death rather than cause it. Another, more sinister theory is that Casey intentionally killed her daughter to escape the responsibilities of motherhood and pursue a carefree lifestyle. Proponents of this theory cite Casey's erratic behavior during the time Caylee was missing. She was partying, getting a tattoo, lying to friends and family. That's all evidence that she was not the grieving mother she claimed to be. Numerous witnesses and experts have weighed in on the case, providing conflicting testimonies that have only deepened the mystery. For example, Caylee Anthony, Casey's mother, claims she was the one who searched for chloroform on the family computer, while other experts argue that the search history indicates premeditation. In the years since the trial, the Caylee Anthony case has refused to fade into obscurity. It remains a touchstone for discussions about the American justice system, parental responsibility, and the power of the media. But what keeps this case in the spotlight isn't just its notoriety. It's the unsettling sense that there's more to the story, loose threads that have yet to be tied up, and revelations that continue to emerge, challenging our understanding of what really happened. One of the most significant recent developments has been the release of several documentaries and investigative reports that have cast new light on the case. These documentaries and reports have re-examined the evidence and re-interviewed key players, and also brought new perspectives that weren't fully explored during the trial. For instance, a documentary titled Caylee Anthony, Her Friends Speak, featured interviews with individuals who were close to Casey during the time Caylee went missing. These friends shared stories and insights that painted a picture of Casey's life that was both revealing and troubling. One friend recounted a conversation where Casey allegedly confided that she felt trapped by motherhood, a statement that adds weight to the prosecution's argument that Casey wanted to be free of her parental responsibilities. In addition to personal testimonies, new forensic analyses have emerged, questioning the reliability of some of the evidence presented during the trial. For example, the controversial air sample evidence, which was used to suggest the presence of human decomposition in the trunk of Casey's car, has come under scrutiny. Advances in forensic science have led some experts to argue that this method was not as conclusive as initially thought, raising doubts about one of the prosecution's key points. Perhaps the most intriguing recent development came in 2021, when a private investigator claimed to have uncovered new leads that could potentially reopen the case. This investigator, who worked with the Caylee Anthony defense team, suggested that there may have been a third party involved in Caylee's death, someone who has never been fully investigated. While these claims have not yet been substantiated, they have reignited public interest and speculation. Recent developments come from an A&E special titled Caylee Anthony's Parents, the Lie Detector Test. This program featured George and Cindy Anthony, Casey's parents, undergoing polygraph tests in an attempt to address lingering questions about their involvement and knowledge of events surrounding Caylee's death. During the show, both George and Cindy Anthony were asked a series of questions designed to probe their honesty about key aspects of the case. George Anthony, who has always maintained his belief that Casey was involved in Caylee's death, was asked directly if he had anything to do with the disappearance or disposal of his granddaughter's body. The results indicated that George was truthful when he denied any involvement, reinforcing his long-standing assertion that he was not complicit in covering up Caylee's death. Cindy Anthony, on the other hand, has been more protective of Casey throughout the years, often suggesting that Caylee's death was an accident. During the lie detector test, Cindy was asked whether she believed Caylee drowned in the family pool and if she knew how Caylee died. The polygraph results suggested that Cindy was also truthful in her responses, indicating that she genuinely believed in the accidental drowning theory, despite the lack of concrete evidence to support this claim. These lie detector results have sparked renewed interest and discussion among those who have followed the case. On one hand, the results seem to clear George Anthony of any direct involvement, potentially lending more credibility to his belief that Casey played a significant role in what happened. On the other hand, Cindy's responses, while truthful according to the polygraph, continue to underscore the divide between the narratives offered by Casey's defense and the prosecution during the trial. While polygraph tests are not admissible in court due to their potential for error, they provide an interesting glimpse into the minds of two individuals who were closest to both Caylee and Casey during the time of the tragedy. The results also add another layer of complexity to the case, leaving viewers to ponder whether George and Cindy Anthony's beliefs are rooted in truth, or if they are shaped by a desire to protect their daughter, or even by the trauma they've endured since Caylee's death. This recent development offers a fresh perspective on the case, but like many aspects of this mystery, it raises more questions than answers. The lie detector results seem to support George Anthony's claims of innocence, yet they also highlight the ongoing conflict between truth and belief within the Anthony family. For those of us still searching for answers, these results provide another piece of the puzzle, but they also reinforce the notion that the full truth of what happened to Caylee Anthony may never be fully uncovered. These updates are more than just media noise. They are a piece of a puzzle that, when assembled, could provide a clearer picture of what happened to Caylee Anthony. Yet with each new revelation, we are left with more questions than answers. Was justice truly served, or did the system fail an innocent child? As we dig deeper, the lines between truth and speculation blur, leaving us to grapple with the disturbing uncertainty that defines this case. As we sift through the evidence and theories surrounding the Caylee Anthony case, I can't help but come back to one unsettling conclusion. In my opinion, Caylee Anthony's behavior both during the investigation and after speaks volumes. Whether Caylee's death was the result of a tragic accident or something more deliberate, the actions of her mother suggest a level of involvement that is difficult to ignore. Let's start with the lies. Caylee Anthony told an astonishing number of them. Lies to her parents, lies to the police, and to her friends. She fabricated entire stories about her whereabouts, her employment, and even the existence of a babysitter named Zanny, who she claimed kidnapped Caylee. These were not just small lies told out of panic. They were elaborate, premeditated falsehoods designed to mislead and obstruct the investigation. The sheer volume and complexity of these lies makes it hard to believe that Casey was merely a frightened young mother who made a mistake. Then there's the issue of Casey's behavior during the time her daughter was missing. While Caylee was unaccounted for, Casey was seen partying, shopping, and living as if nothing were wrong. Her carefree demeanor during this period is chilling when contrasted with the horrific reality that her daughter was missing, possibly already dead. One particularly disturbing piece of evidence is the tattoo Casey got during this time. A tattoo that read Bella Vita, or Beautiful Life. For many, this was a glaring sign of her indifference, or worse, her satisfaction at being unburdened by motherhood. Moreover, the forensic evidence, while contested, can't be entirely dismissed. The decomposition odor detected in the trunk of Casey's car, the presence of chloroform, and the traces of hair consistent with Caylee's suggests that something terrible happened to Caylee in that vehicle. Even if we question the methodology, the fact that this evidence exists raises serious concerns about Casey's role in her daughter's death. And let's not forget about the circumstances of Caylee's remains being found. The location, just a short distance from the Anthony family home, and the way Caylee's body was disposed of, wrapped in a blanket and placed in trash bags, indicates a level of premeditation and concealment. These actions are not just of someone who is innocent or unaware. They are the actions of someone trying to hide a crime. While some argue that the prosecution failed to provide a clear motive or a definitive narrative of how Caylee died, I believe that the mosaic of evidence, behavior, and lies paints a bad picture. Caylee Anthony may have been acquitted in a court of law, but the court of public opinion, and in the minds of many who followed this case, the question remains: did she get away with murder? To dive even deeper into this case, I highly recommend the book Presumed Guilty by Jose Baez, the very attorney who defended Caylee Anthony. This book offers a unique perspective for someone who was intimately involved in the case and sheds light not disclosed to anyone until now on the defense's side of the story. I've included a link in the description where you can grab your copy today. By using this link, you'll also be supporting the channel. So go ahead and click the link and get your copy, and let me know what you thought of the book today. The Caylee Anthony case remains one of the most enigmatic and controversial mysteries of our time. From the suspicious circumstances surrounding Caylee's death to the controversial acquittal, this case has left a mark on the public consciousness. As we've seen, there are no easy answers in this case. Theories abound, but the truth remains elusive. What really happened to Caylee Anthony? Was it a tragic accident or something more sinister? The mystery continues to haunt us, and the debate is far from over. What do you think happened to Caylee Anthony? Do you believe justice was served? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. I'm eager to hear your opinions on this case. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Caylee Anthony mystery, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mystery Unveiled. We bring you the most intriguing mysteries from all around the world, and your support helps us keep the content coming in. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next mystery.